countdown timer. So nervous. For anyone listening, when we start recording, there's a countdown timer that counts down from 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's like a bomb going off.
Yeah, we're just...
Every time, like, I don't know, leading into recording this, my heart rate goes up so much. Every time it starts, it's mainly because of that fucking timer. Yeah.
We just came in and started chatting. It's like the podcast just started, but the second the timer goes off.
Everyone goes quiet for a bit, and then the timer goes off, and then start freaking out a little bit, and then kick off. But anyway, greetings and salutations. Here we are for another Barbell Bros podcast at the new time of 6:30.
This is different.
6:30 p.m.
We usually do 6:30, never 6:30 a.m. for me, probably for you. We usually do, 9 a.m. here? We usually do the pod?
Usually earlier in the day, but it was my job to book it this time. And I fucked it up. So we ended up here at 6:30.
I don't mind the 6:30 p.m. slot.
Well, it was either this or wait another week or two.
No,
So I thought, you know what, fuck it. We'll just go in the evening. We'll just sack it up and just stay awake for a bit later tonight. But if I stay awake, like a bit later, it just fucks my whole next day. I'll be all right today because we'll probably finish here about 7:30, 10 minutes drive home. I'll probably be in bed by like 8:30 latest, before 9 at least.
What's your morning routine? Because I always see you scan into the gym quite early. What's your morning routine look like? Like, for what time does your alarm go off? What time do you wake up?
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I was really struggling to wake up in the morning. Like, I was heavily reliant on my alarm, but now I've worked myself into such a good rhythm again that I'm waking up before it. And I love when I'm waking up before it because it just means that I don't know what, some cunt's going to comment, but the science says, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about me personally, what I feel. I just feel, is that all right?
Made up this bloke.
Is that all right?
I hate him as autism.
Yeah. He's just in the comment section. Oh, that's not how it works.
I already can't stand him.
Yeah. So I've got myself in a rhythm where I'm waking up like 10 minutes to half an hour before my alarm.
And what time was the alarm set to?
The alarm's set for 4 o'clock. So I had it set at 3, but it was just a bit too, I didn't need to get up that early because I found if I was getting up at 3, after I would train, take my dogs for a walk and eat breakfast, I needed to go back to bed. So I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I'm waking up before my alarm and then wake up, go to the bathroom, obviously. This is specific. How detailed do you want to be?
Oh, detailed? No, I want to know the morning routine.
Okay, so I have a shower before I go to bed so I can wake up clean.
Fresh.
Then I go to the bathroom as soon as I wake up. Then I'll walk out into the kitchen. I'll put all my shit on the table. So I'll put all my supplements on the table. I'll put my blood pressure monitor on the table. And if I'm going to like inject carnitine or something like that, I'll put all that shit on the table. Then I fill up my shaker with cold water, filtered water from the tap. Because I fucking hate tap water.
Tap water's gross.
I only drink filtered water.
You know what? Sorry to cut you off. We were digging up some pipes at we're doing a bit of plumbing work at one of the houses, and to see what's in those pipes, to think that water goes through those pipes, it's horrendous.
Vulgar. I could imagine. It's disgusting. So yeah, filter water, fill it up. And then what do I do from then? I'll start sipping that as I usually inject carnitine in the morning. So I'll make that up, inject that. I'll probably put the TV on while I'm doing this, even though it only takes me like 10 minutes. And then get dressed. And then I always have to, if I don't go into my bedroom and give my missus a hug and a kiss before I leave, she freaks out. Thinks like the world's coming to an end. Oh, it's so annoying, but I have to do it. She'd kill me if she sees this.
I'll make sure I edit that part out if I'm using it.
No, just leave it in there. Fuck it. She's always angry at me about something. And then I just go to the gym.
And then you'll get to the gym. What time do you usually?
So I wake up at 4, do all that shit. I probably get to the gym. Depending on how fast I do everything in the morning. I don't rush to do it though. I don't rush to do anything anymore. I'll probably get there between 4:30 and 4:45.
I just think it's good for you to say that routine because obviously you're motivated and you love what you do and you've structured your life to allow you to do this. But there's so many people out there that just wouldn't do that and they come up with a few excuses, or potentially they're shift workers that think they're not getting the most out of their training. But it's just good to know that you can still achieve your goals in terms of strength or body.
Well, the first thing everyone will ask is, but how do you train that early without eating? I know someone will say that. So I have carbs in my pre-workout drink. I'll have 25 grams of carb powder, and then in my intra-workout drink, I'll do another 25 grams of carb powder. And then the shaker that I fill up in the morning, I do 700 mils of water. So how I do it, I'll do a scoop of 2 scoops of pump juice with creatine, electrolytes, carb powder in 1 shaker, and I'll drink that, and then I'll fill it up again, and then I'll put a stim-based product in there, usually just dialed. I put in there, which is 300 megs of caffeine, and then drink that. So I've had almost 1.5 liters before I even get to the gym. So then by the time I finish training, I've had 2.1 liters of fluid, which, like, it's very important to stay hydrated around training, obviously. So that's how I get hydrated enough that early in the morning.
So you're in the morning, you're having just primarily carbs at your pre, and you're having any amino acids or anything as well with that shake?
Not pre, during training I do. And I'll try different shit. Like, I bought one from America. It was like fucking so expensive. It was like $100 for like 16 serves or some shit.
Really?
But I just wanted to try it. I just like trying new stuff, and it tastes like shit. But the ingredients in it just, I don't know, they look good.
So what's your meal the night before? What time do you have that meal? Like, what's your last meal?
I like to, if I can have it finished by about 7:45, I'm happy. But sometimes it gets pushed out a bit later.
I like having a bit of like, I don't really believe in fasting. I'm not a big fasting person, but I do like to have a period of, not consuming anything but just fluid. Like, I have my last meal at like 8:39, and then I don't have my next meal. The next day, 9:30, 10 a.m., I eat my first meal usually. So I go for a walk, I get a coffee, finally it just settles me, and then I'm quite hungry, and then I want to get the food in compared to like force feeding. I don't like to wake up and think, I've got to push food in.
No, I couldn't think of anything worse than waking up and just starting to eat straight away.
Yeah, I don't like that.
If I on rest days, like I even go to the gym on rest days now just to do some cardio and also do some like mobility drills and stability drills and shit, just so I have healthy joints and that. But like if I wake up and don't go to the gym, I fucking don't know what to do myself. Like, it's just the way that I start my day.
Do you find you get more fatigued on those days where you don't go into the gym?
Well, I just make sure I go every day now, even on rest days, just to do something. Because if I don't, I just don't know what to do with my day because it's dark outside. It's too early to take the dogs for a walk. My missus doesn't want to get out of bed that early, fair enough. And like, I don't want to just turn the TV on and just start watching TV or something. Yeah. I can't really do like much for work because a lot of my job involves speaking to people. They're fucking still in bed. It's not business hours. So
may as well just go to the gym.
I need to. Otherwise, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think it's a good habit to just get in there, and the fact that you're doing all your mobility stuff, it's great. Because there's so many people that just avoid doing that.
Yeah.
But you going in there and consistently doing all your sequences and
it's good because it gives you more time on those days to put extra effort into it because you've got more free time.
How's your how do you feel now? Last time we were on the podcast, you just kind of started getting back into squatting. I saw you squatted the other day. What did you do? Was it 210 or 200?
210, I think, for 8.
Yeah, man. How'd that
feel? It felt easy. Like, it's not hard at all.
You're just getting used to like it's movement again.
It's just doing it and not, it's just conditioning my body to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because like we've said on here a million times, you could go in the gym and lift anything, but the repercussions the next day are going to be severe. Where if I build up to it over weeks and months, I can do it and then be fine the next day.
Are you enjoying the progression of the squat? It is fun.
It's my favorite exercise to do at the moment.
How fun is it?
Because I haven't done them for years.
It's so fun.
I haven't done them for years.
I have not missed a squat session now since 2022. Like I can now, I remember the first session I kind of got back into the swing of them, and I've squatted every week for, going on 3 years now. And I absolutely still love it. Absolutely love it. I'm doing safety bar squats at the moment because I peaked in my high bar squat. Now I'm doing safety, but safety bar squats, anyone that thinks that they're an easier variation, to me, they're so much
There's
harder.
nothing safe about it.
There's nothing. I find them to be the hardest squat variation because the position they force you
I think front squat's the hardest.
Oh, front squat's the hardest, yeah. I'm saying like in terms of just like a back squat essentially, when the weight's low. A front squat, because you're limited by how much weight based on how much your upper body can hold.
Yeah.
Like it's like your arms become a factor with the front squat.
Your shoulders, I feel like it really puts a lot more pressure on the spinal erectors in staying upright.
I saw what's his name? Mike Israetel. He's become a bit of a flog lately. He was saying last night on something popped up how bad front squats are. Maybe it was a bit of clickbait. Everyone's very clickbait.
Did you watch it?
It was like a reel that he made, a little reel.
Did you watch it?
And he said, he said that it's a very ineffective exercise, terrible exercise, because he goes, there's so much emphasis on the upper back. And I'm like, well, just because an exercise places emphasis on another muscle group, why does that make it shit?
Bro, like I know he's smart and he's a doctor and everything like that. I was listening to him on a podcast once, and he was saying he has to use semaglutide to prep for a show because he gets really hungry when he's prepping. I'm like, cunt, everyone gets really hungry when you're prepping. That's just part of getting ready for a show. You get really hungry. But the fact but I get really hungry. It's like.
He had surgery recently. Did you the surgery he had recently?
I still just can't get over the fact that he tried to justify his drug use and not coming in shape because he feels an obscene amount of hunger compared to everyone else. Like what kind of excuse is that?
That is bodybuilding.
What kind of fucking excuse is that, you gay cunt?
Have you ever done a prep where you haven't been hungry towards the end?
Exactly. That's what it requires. It requires you to be hungry. So when he's like, "Oh, but I get really hungry," what's
the difference between hungry? Like,
why is your hunger more important than mine? Like, why is it okay for you to use your hunger as an excuse, but I can't use mine as an excuse?
What does that even do? Does it like an appetite suppressant?
I don't know exactly. Some shit like that. It makes fat cunts less fat, but people die from it.
Really?
It reduces your appetite. I don't know the science behind it. Reduces your appetite massively. Apparently, you get a lot of nauseousness from it. It's the new one, the celebrity. Can you get some glutide?
Really?
Can you get some glutide? My daughter, my wife, she's on it as well. I got some with my wife. I got some with my daughter. I'm using it, but I made us feel fucking sick. Should we keep using it? Yeah, go.
Keep going.
Keep using it, bro.
Mad.
What about Tren? Should I use Tren? Yeah, bro, use it.
Just keep using Tren.
What do you think about insulin? Yeah, bro, just 10 I use.
They're all the same, eh?
Oh, man. Sometimes when I go and visit a store and there'll be a leb in there, he'll be like to me, "Oh, you're a big boy, yeah? What do you take?" I'm like, "Test, masked." Is that it? Yeah. He goes, "I'm using this. What do you reckon?" I'm like,
"Good."
Yeah, sweet. He goes, "What do you reckon about insulin?" I go, "All right, well, usually with insulin, you know, 1 unit per 10 grams of carbohydrates. You work up your carbohydrates. Should I use it?" I'm like, he doesn't let me finish. I'm like, "Yeah, just go nuts. Just shove it in yourself."
My favorite thing is when anytime someone new comes to the gym and they're like an older bloke, they'll come in. First thing they say to me, they'll look at me and they highlight that they know someone or have known someone that was significantly bigger than me.
What about that cunt that came to the gym and he was the turnip? The turnip. So this guy, he's probably, how old do you reckon he was?
Mid-40s?
Mid-40s, rocks up to the gym on some shit motorbike. I don't know what it was. Like wearing mountain climbing shoes. Like just looked like the science teacher at school that sometimes subbed in as the cricket coach or something like that.
Yeah. He wasn't the full-time teacher, but he was the one that would substitute in and you'd see him every now and then on campus.
So, but sometimes he'd be a coach for a sporting event. He got really into it. He just got that. And he's like to me, "Oh, Mike, do you mind if I speak to you for a minute?" I'm like, how do you know me? He pulled me over to the side and he's like, "I'm thinking about using a bit of gear." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Test, like replacement therapy. What do you think?" He's like, "I'm thinking Tren." I was just like, "Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Fucking hell. Go away."
Yeah, I know the exact guy you're talking about. I've had a lot of strange clients over the years, and I feel like they just want to come and pick our brains with just gear.
Everyone does. It's everyone's first port of call.
Yeah, and
what should I take?
These people, it's always the same. They don't eat properly. It's the last thing they're going to do. They don't eat properly. They barely sleep. They're in unstable relationships. They don't even train hard. They barely get to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. But all they care about is how much should I take?
Yeah. I don't care. If someone asks me, I'm not like, if they're an idiot that I know is not going to listen, I'm not going to bother giving them good advice. I'm just going to say, yeah, do it. But if it's a young kid that's asking me, I will put the effort and energy into speaking to them and educating them a bit more and advising them on ensure that you're making the right decisions. Just because you've started bodybuilding now, it's not your whole life. Make sure you continue to get an education. Make sure you continue to pursue a career path. Enjoy bodybuilding to the fullest. But that doesn't mean you can't do other things as well. Don't start being a prick to your family. Don't start disrespecting females. Keep your head screwed on your shoulders. Bodybuilding is something you do. It's not your whole life. You don't need to throw everything else out the window just because of that. Don't spend all your money on gear.
Yeah.
I just try and, I don't know, I'll give that conversation to him once. I don't feel an obligation to ensure that. I'm not fucking taking onus over their life. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what they do. But if I speak to them once, I give them that advice once. If they take it, up to them. Yeah. If not, when they get 10 years down the track, I look back and fuck, I should have listened to what Mike said back then. Like, yeah, you probably should have, but you didn't. So fucking look at you now.
We never really had that many resources. What was your main resource when you first started taking gear? Like, where did you go for your
Well, I was lucky because I worked in a supplement shop and we sold a lot of Gentech products. And the owner of Gentech is Nick Jones.
Yeah.
So he when he would call the shop, because I was based in Victoria at the time, I think he was in Sydney at the time, I would just ask him shit over the phone, and he would be very generous with his knowledge. So I was lucky enough to have him as a bit of a resource when I first.
That's great. That's a good resource.
Yeah.
But the first it was funny. The first gym that I trained at, we had a really good community of people there, but everyone was no one was really taking anything. Everyone was kind of young, and it got to the point where we're all training really hard, and there was some Habib dude there that apparently could get gear. So everyone, we'd chat to this dude, and then he got us, testosterone or whatever it was, Deca testosterone. And then, we all spent, it was like $200+ a bottle.
Nice.
So we got reamed.
He really gave you the good advice. This is the best shit ever. Jocelyn Arlowitz uses it.
Reamed.
Yeah.
This was in like 2011, 2012. Anyway, so here I was. I set up my first cycle. I said, okay, I'm going to start taking gear in December. For 3 months, I'm going to run it all the summer on. I just feel good. I trained like an animal. I ate 5 times a day. Everything was structured. It was perfect. I looked really good. I felt great. I put on muscle, put on strength. I went and got a blood test about 6-7 weeks in, all fake.
Wow.
All fake. All the gear was fake. Nothing happened. So when
you said resource, did you mean source of knowledge, or did you mean someone to get gear off?
Just get gear off. I
wasn't getting off Nick Jones. I'll tell you that. I wish I was. I was getting it from where?
No, what I meant was where was your whether you learnt about it or just gear in general. How did it all kind of come?
You know what I used to listen to a lot? Remember on RX Muscle, he had a series of podcasts, and there was one called Blue Collar Muscle.
Yeah, The
hosts of it were John Meadows and Shelby Starnes. I used to love that.
Yeah, Shelby Starnes, I remember that.
That was the most dry, boring conversations, but the knowledge and just the stuff about training from John Meadows was always so fun to listen to.
Yeah, those were good, those podcasts. That would have been, 10 years ago?
Probably.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, what I was going to say was because I was training, I was in the mindset that I was going to start my first cycle. So I trained so hard and I ate so well.
You put in all the effort anyway.
I put on muscle and got stronger, but what I was taking was fake.
What do you reckon it was? You're putting in your body just oil.
I wish to this day I knew what it was. It must have just been oil, canola oil, whatever it was. But it was all fake. And then at that point, someone that I knew at the time got so angry because he actually spent so much money with them.
How much?
I wouldn't even, thousands of dollars, because he was buying for so many people. Thousands of dollars.
And he was reselling it.
Yeah, and everyone got the shits at him.
That's a pain in the ass.
So he now had to, and this guy that was at the gym, he left the gym, obviously, because everyone had bought a significant investment into his. And I personally think this guy thought it was good. I thought, because you don't just go there and fill the whole gym with fake shit. And then,
especially if you want to maintain presence in the community.
I reckon he actually legitimately thought it was good,
but
it was junk. Anyway, long story short, some of the people we knew actually started to delve into the solo manufacturing of steroids. And anyway, we were looked after from that point and got our bloods done. And the next cycle, I put on like 12 kilos.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, because it was an actual cycle.
This is what it's like to be
So my first cycle I took, what did I take? I just took 2 mils of test, 1 mil of Deca, and 20 or 30 milligrams of Dynabol.
That's a pretty hectic first cycle.
This is after the fake one. The fake one I did before.
Fake one doesn't count.
The fake one I had, it was 1 mil of test to start with, and it went up to 2 mils. It was all fake. It was just test.
My first cycle was 1 mil test.
That's what I meant to do that. Yeah. It was fake.
I remember I felt like I was huge. I probably wasn't, but I felt like I was.
I bet you were.
I wasn't. I just felt like it. I felt fucking amazing. Remember that old saying everyone used to have, the first cycle. You never get
newbie gains.
You never get a feeling like you. It's not you never get a feeling like that. It's just that's the first time you've experienced it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it is good.
And then after that, it's almost like in your head. I was thinking about this the other day. I go, at what point did it just become cruising and blasting forever? Like when you start, you're so like,
who's responsible for that?
I know. Like at the start, you're like, I'm just going to take for 12 weeks, and then I'm going to do my PCT.
I remember cruise and blast used to be really like, you do cruise and blast.
Like that was so like,
fuck. Now it's just fucking old mate competing in novice. He's been doing that for a couple of years already.
Yeah, the guy that's literally just his first time on.
Now it's like as soon as you start gear, you don't come off. Now it's just.
No one comes off now.
And then there's the one person that tries to make out they're holier than they're like, no, do you come off like me? It's like, oh, shut up, cunt. You think you're so good with your off? Fucking faggot.
My favorite's the guy that's been blasting grams and grams of gear for 10 years.
Can't stop having kids. Reproduces like a rabbit.
Grams of gear. And then he'll literally come off for 1 week or 2 weeks and then be like, I'm currently in like a health phase. I'm natural.
Yeah. I've been off for a while now. How long? Not that long.
It's like I've been a health phase. It's like you've put endless milligrams in your glutes. It's been 3 weeks. You're not natural.
They just start to feel like
you're not natural. That is not what I consider natural. Natural is a dude that's literally been off for 6 to 12 months. Their balls are full. Their bloods are normal. Their lipids are fine. They don't have sleep apnea.
Yeah, being legitimately natural after taking steroids would take a considerable amount of effort.
I'm scared to do that.
To get things back. Well, you probably never will. I'm sorry to tell you. You're probably going to be on TRT for the rest of your life.
Oh, no, I'll be on TRT, but I'm just trying to say, like, at what point is it like, if you're getting ready to have a kid, at what point?
I don't know why people, like, again, I don't know the science behind it.
But disclaimer, I don't know if I can know the science behind it.
I don't know why everyone stresses out, I've got to come off gear. I'm trying to have a kid. Like, that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that you're not fertile.
I reckon I've got probably one seed somewhere in there.
Oh, man. Like, I just reckon it's all about self-belief and confidence. You just got to have a bit of self-belief.
I had a mate that went to do IVF with his missus, and he's told me he went there and he did a sperm check, and the doctor said, "You've got 12." And he goes, "What, 12 million?" It's 12. 12 sperm cells.
Yeah.
He goes, "What do you mean 12 sperm cells?" He goes, "How do you have 12?
But you know how some people, I don't know, some people are just fucking unlucky. Yeah, you know what I mean? Some people are just like KFC workers. They're just mutants out the back of KFC, and they just haven't got the genetics for it. Do you know what I mean?
Look, I hope that when the time comes, I reckon I'll just not come off anything and just see if I can get a winner. And then if nothing catches within, I don't know, 3 months,
it's her fault.
Yeah, have no accountability to yourself.
Yeah, it's not me, it's you.
Hey, have you checked your eggs?
Yeah.
Are your eggs good?
I think there might be something with your eggs. Because this is not working.
Usually this would have caught by now. Something would have happened by now.
Yeah.
Even though you got like a blank sperm.
And they're like, no, but you're the one on steroids. Look, babe, I don't want to tell you this, but I've had a few scares in the past, let's just say.
Look, you're in the age bracket where eggs get a little bit,
exactly, a little bit barren. Don't want to use the word barren, but
just take no accountability at all and just keep blasting. But that's me. I'm actually, I feel like if you were to come off completely from steroids, I feel like there's that period afterwards, health markers just decline significantly.
Oh, well, everything that goes up must come down. So it's like, even like with having caffeine, it's like you take an absurd amount of caffeine, you get really high for a while, and then you crash. Same thing with that. You're going to plummet down lower than what you were before. It was actually interesting. I was speaking to Taylor Crabtree about people that vape.
Yep.
And when they vape and they get that nicotine hit, it pushes I think he said norepinephrine or something. I don't know. It pushes something that makes you feel good up really high. And after a while, it drops down lower than what it was initially before you inhaled it.
So that's where the addiction starts.
Yes.
That's where people, because they're always chasing.
Well, you're going high for a while, but then the hole that you're in is dug even deeper than what it was.
That's why people just can't, because I see people vaping and go, fuck, it's like a twitch.
Man.
They can't stop.
It's like, I don't want to sound holier than thou, but it's a real fucking plague on society because they're totally unnecessary and they're made to be flavorful and fun and for people to really enjoy them. How the fuck can you not get addicted to them? If you start, like,
just
there's
smoke
a good
durries.
chance. Durries are...
Just smoke a ciggy. At least it's just smoke a ciggy.
Man, I wanted, my whole contest prep, I wanted a cigarette. Have I spoken about this on here?
You said it last time, yeah.
That's told on here?
Yeah, and you hated it.
Shit.
Yeah, but it looked cool.
I don't even think it looked cool.
I think it looked cool.
I don't even think it looked cool.
I think it looked cool because he would have had the slick back hair, peel, just fucking have a dust.
Maybe I should have got a photo.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Well, I'm probably never going to do it again.
I reckon that would have been, I reckon that would have been one of the best photos, just seeing you at the front of the venue.
Sunglasses on at night.
Sunglasses with just like a open leather jacket, slick back hair, and just holding a fucking durry.
Yeah, I might do it next time.
Just let me know because I'll take a
I'll get Charles Lothian on the job.
Just take an off the cuff pick. It's got to be
what's
raw.
it called? What do they call it? Not subtle. What's the word?
I've forgotten now. You know, you know those. Yeah.
Something a girl that posts
Yeah,
on.
you know, what are they? Oh, fuck, how do I forget this? Danny always yells it at me. You got to take a photo that's
candid.
Candid pic. I reckon that would have looked cool.
A candid pic having a
great
dart.
pic.
Yeah, and then I would have posted it and you know he smokes. Like, bro, I had one ciggy once. I don't actually smoke.
Oi, Mike smokes. I reckon we should all, we should start. Help.
He smokes. Okay.
That's fuck.
That's how rumors start.
Yeah.
That's how things take off.
There's is there anyone that you're predicting to win? Are they giving a pro card out at these shows coming up? Is there a pro card offer at these shows? Is this season A happening?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a pro. So that we've got the Sydney, Melbourne, Queensland shows.
Perth's this weekend.
Perth.
There's a couple of good guys. James Newcomb's doing Perth.
Is he back?
Remember James Newcomb?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he had a great physique.
Amazing.
He had a great physique. After he took a bit of time off, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I don't know him that well. I've exchanged messages with him on Instagram a little bit. Nothing.
He had a great physique.
Substance.
He looked like a good, like a 212 type of.
Bro, sick physique.
Very
short dude, short in stature, but very muscular. And he hasn't really posted a lot or anything of the physique that he's bringing. But like if he is even like 80 to 90% of what he was previously, he'll smoke everyone.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had a very impressive physique.
But you know what? I don't know if he's going to be one of these guys that comes back and does classic because they're a bit smaller and off everything.
I was going to say, is he doing bodybuilding? 'Cause there are a few other bodybuilders that I've seen doing classic.
Who?
What's that? Josh Andrews
Oh yeah,
from Queensland. He's doing classic. To me, he just looks like a bodybuilder.
yeah,
He just looks like a bodybuilder.
yeah. He seems good on Instagram.
Yeah, like if you're looking at that, it seems like, what are you doing classic for?
Yeah.
You know, like one of the members in our gym, the Italian guy, he's probably listening to this. I won't say his name, but he showed me a photo of him and goes,
You pretty much you may as well say his name. You just
I
singled him.
he'll know. He showed me a photo of him and goes, how the hell am I meant to compete next to this?
Yeah.
And I go, bro, just get on stage. You'll be fine. Don't worry about other people. Just enjoy yourself. Have a good show, whatever. But yeah. Who else is competing?
Mike Dawn.
Mike Dawn again.
Yep.
Well, okay.
Mike Dawn, and I think he'll do really well. But it's going to be a tough season, man. Mike Dawn's doing it.
Do you prefer season A or season like the later shows? What if you were to compare? Because you've done both in the past. You've done the early season shows, and you've also done shows at the end of the year.
I think last year this Golden was the first time I've ever done the end of the year.
What did you prefer?
I don't care. They're both
Either or?
They're both equally as difficult. They're both equally as difficult.
Because one obviously you're prepping and dieting through summer, and one you're prepping and dieting through winter.
It's probably easier to diet through summer.
Yeah.
It's probably like physiologically, it's probably I would find it easier, just because you don't have to eat as much food, and it's nicer to be a bit leaner in the summer anyway because you can wear less clothes and not be so fucking hot all the time and not feel like a fat cunt. But yeah, they're both hard.
Yeah. I found that the only time I competed at the end of year was the COVID year. And I enjoyed that because there was nothing to do during COVID. So I was like, fuck it, I may as well just...
Man, that would have been perfect to get ready for a show during COVID.
I loved it.
Especially if you got your own gym.
It was the best.
You can stay at home all day and just fucking train and eat.
I
and
loved
just
it.
Chill.
That was
and not feel like you're missing out on anything else in life because there's nothing else to miss out.
That's why I wanted to compete because it gave me something to do during COVID. I was really like...
Just another pandemic to get Paul to compete.
Yeah.
Another pandemic. That's all we need.
I don't know if I always, you know, the thing is, someone asked me, would I compete again? And I always say I train with the idea and intent that I will compete again.
Yeah.
I always train with that level of intensity, with that level of output. That's always in my mind, but I haven't got any immediate plans.
Well, that's good because it just means that you've got the option.
Yeah.
If you want to, you've been training in preparation for it so that you can, rather than, I've got to get back into it and do this for however long. You can just, sweet, you can just start a diet.
I just think I found a really good balance with enjoying my training. And a lot of things I'm doing with my training now, there's a lot of strength component to it, and I'm really loving it.
It's funny, hey, how a lot of people that get into shape or they start training or they get involved in the gym or fitness or whatever the fuck, they think that competing is like a natural part of their progression.
Yeah.
They're like, I go to the gym now, so I should compete. It's like, well, I don't know if you should.
There's some great physiques out there that have never competed because it's just not.
Well, not everyone needs to. It's not for everyone, but I just find it funny how some people think it's part of their natural progression in their health and fitness exposure.
It's almost like they think that they need to suffer for it's like, oh my God, now I need to compete, now I need to diet, I need to do this. It's like, you don't need to do any of that.
No, you don't need to.
It's not going to generate you an income if there might be just like an office worker that thinks I'm just going to start training and then I got to compete. It's like, you don't have to.
Well, it's funny because you see a lot of people put their whole lives on hold to do a show. And I made a post about this the other day. Outside of winning the Olympia or winning the Arnold, competing in a bodybuilding show itself is not going to change your life. Like, if you build your life up around it, you've got a business, being in shape generates you an income. It might change your life slowly over time, but like winning a show, like it feels mad on the day and then you fly home and you're just back to your normal life. And you're only returning to the same life that you left behind. You're not winning a show and then you come home and fucking there's a parade of people down the street and they're just throwing rose petals at you and you go inside, it's full of money and you're rich and famous now. Like, you won a bodybuilding show. Like, it's an amazing personal achievement and it's a stepping stone on where you might want to get, and it might help you promote a product or a business or something else that makes money external to actually winning the show, but it's not changing your life. So it's important to make sure that as you progress in your bodybuilding career, you build your life up outside of that as well, because you win a show, you go somewhere, you go to an expo. It's funny, people go to an expo, they feel important because people take photos with them. Bro, you're only returning to the same life you left behind. If you don't build up a good life to go back to, what the fuck was the point?
That's very true. A lot of people do think that it's going to open up a million doors.
And look, it does open up doors and it does present opportunities, but like, unless you're like a Derek Lunsford or something like that, the opportunities aren't going to be immediately life-changing. They might be ones that slowly start to creep you in a direction that you want to go, that accumulate over time, but you actually still have to use your brain and put an effort and be strategic in decisions that you make so that it does advance your life. And like, I don't know. I just think it's funny how fucking everyone's an online coach. Like, yeah. Like, just because you competed doesn't mean you need to be an online coach. Like, unless you're one of the top guys, that's not really, like, what's your retirement plan of being an online coach? Unless you're making a shitload of money and investing in property and shit like that. Like, yeah, you're getting money, but like, what are you doing long term? Like, what are you building? Like, are you going to build that business up and sell it? Like, what are you going to do?
True. Well, that's one of the things that I had, like, let's just say as a physio, there's only so much space you can see people face to face. There's only so much time you can allocate to face-to-face sessions. So it's like the next step is, okay, well, how can I help people remotely or scale my business? The next step is obviously online physiotherapy or rehab. So then you can take on more clients. And then you're like, okay, well, I can't take on more clients on an online platform because I've got so many other things happening. What's the next progression from that? It's like, do you hire staff that can help you with that? So it's like, well, if you've got between 20 and 40 online clients, you don't really need another staff member because you're going to have to outlay for them. So then it's like, well, how can I further scale my business? So that's why it's like, okay, well, how about an app? So build an app where you can actually put everything you know in the app, have an option.
And not charge as much, but get more people involved.
Have an option that's $25 a month compared to, $150 a week. There's options there. And that's just the natural progression. And like you said, it's like, what's the actual end goal of it? Are you building something up? Are you taking that income and putting it back into that business, or are you taking that income and putting it into another business? Like, where?
Or are you taking that income and paying off a car that you can't afford?
Yeah. Is that
to look good on Instagram?
Correct. Are you buying, is it a C63 AMG that's, are you renting an apartment with a C63 AMG and doing
I don't know, man.
Online coaching?
The whole facade people create is just fucking gay.
It's very Gold Coast, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very Gold Coast. Yep. I feel like it's very hard to create that facade in Sydney as much, because if you're in Sydney, you got to work hard.
You get crushed if you go to that in Sydney. Right. Everything's so expensive.
When people put up a post saying I'm leaving Sydney or something, you can just tell us they just got defeated.
Yeah, you couldn't sustain your pace.
Like, I see people.
You gave up.
Good luck to them. Everyone's got their own thing.
I reckon it would be harder than Sydney to be New York.
Anyone from New York looks at Sydney and thinks we are slow motion here.
Mm.
New York is the far. If you've made it in New York, like you're big time.
That would be pretty cool.
Like New York is that's. I feel like you got to be associated with like you just got to be like a big dog to be there.
Yeah, to be top end, fucking oath.
But Sydney in Australia, I feel like if you can make it in Sydney, it's pretty hectic here.
Yeah. But then again, also too, you get cunts that come over here from living in favelas in Brazil and like, what do you mean you don't want to work 13 hours a day? That's nothing.
Yeah.
And they're willing to do anything to make money.
It's kind of how it's kind of where you've come from because, as you said, people from those third world countries come and go, it's fucking easy.
They've got that immigrant mentality where they'll just grind.
My grandparents came here, just drove buses, bought 2 houses, driving a bus.
Yeah,
imagine being able to,
but you could buy a house for a week's wage back then.
But can you imagine being a bus driver and being able to buy 2 fucking houses?
Well, back then it was feasible though.
Yeah.
Back then it was realistic. Not now.
Ridiculous.
Well, I don't know what a bus driver would get paid now, so I don't want to, I don't know, discriminate against anyone, but for their choice of employment besides online coaches. But no, I didn't want to do that. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I don't mean it. I don't care. Do what you want.
I put up a post the other day because I thought it would be relevant to the Barbell Bros Instagram or Barbell Bros podcast that we read out some of our listeners' most, as I said, diabolical stories. Now, your input on this will be very valued.
All right, let's hear it.
So look, there's actually quite a few. We had quite a few people message in. There's some very long ones. I'll save some for the next podcast. So I'll do 2 or 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Diabolical stories.
Once on holiday, I took a wild American chick back to my hotel. Whilst doing the deed, she bit my neck with such force, I threw her off me onto the floor. I finished the deed on the floor. Glad you finished. The next day, I went to play golf and couldn't play because my neck and shoulder was in so much pain. That night, I had her come over again. There was no biting involved this time. When I came back home, I couldn't train any upper body because of the pain. Went physio, turned out she bit me so hard that she damaged my C5-6 nerves and I couldn't activate some of the muscles on my right side of my shoulder and neck. By far the most expensive route of my life, and all the recovery and rehab took 6 months total.
Holy fuck. That's a impressive story. That is impressive.
She's taken a chunk out of it.
What do you think? What do you think when you hear what do you say? Wild or crazy American girl? How do you describe her?
Wild American girl.
Yeah. What does that make you think?
I just think of like some cheerleader from like a frat party house.
Yeah. White picket fence.
Yeah.
Family. They don't know she's slut.
She's wild.
Yeah.
The fact that she went straight for the jugular.
Yeah, that's alarming.
C5-6, 6 months. Imagine having to rehabilitate an injury from some guy.
I'll be so angry. I'll just thrown her out the window.
Can you imagine doing all your shoulder activations because of that?
It's like if you just met a chick and you're rooting her and she bit you that hard, like what would your reaction be? Like just try and think you're actually there because like just try and make out you're actually there. It's kind of like a bit, you don't know them that well.
I think instinctively you just grab them and like throw them off. Like you'd have to. If someone's biting you that hard, you're not going to just cop it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
respond well to people who try to hurt me.
Yeah, I think a natural
or scare me. The worst thing is someone tries to scare me, I fucking snap. Once this bloke at the gym, this gay bloke at the gym walked up to me.
This gay bloke.
He walked up to me in the gym, and I wasn't paying attention, and it was really quiet. I was outside, and he just yelled real loud and grabbed me at behind and scared the shit out of me. I picked him up, slammed him into the ground, and it was such an overreaction. And then I was like, I wasn't hitting him hard, and then I didn't slam that hard into the ground either. I was giving him these little jabs to the temple, but they weren't soft, but if someone was going to be like, can you stop doing that to me?
Yeah, it's just like pushing it a little bit.
I was testing the boundaries a little bit, and he started crying after it.
So you smashed him.
Oh,
you're trying to act like it was just like a bit of fun. You beat the shit out of him.
No,
I didn't beat the shit out of him. He was crying.
I didn't beat the shit out of him. But yeah. Anyway.
Great story.
Yeah, wow. Wild story.
Yeah, I'd be very annoyed.
Fucking oath.
Okay, the next one.
The disrespect.
Fuck. All right. God, I love it. I actually really love our listeners. Went on a gym date with a girl. We hit legs and I shit myself on the pendulum squat.
Wait, hang on. Start again. He went on a date with a girl.
Went on a gym date with a girl.
Gay.
We hit leg. Is that your meal timer?
Yeah.
Went on a gym date with a girl. We hit legs and I shit myself on the pendulum squat. I had to hide it because she kept mentioning cardio at hers. She started saying that she hates when people don't care about hygiene, etc. Went the entire Went the entire session after ducking to the bathroom to clean myself up, and I still stunk after.
Wow.
She ended up giving me a rimmy when we got back.
That's
to
such
hers.
a lie. That is such a lie. That is such a lie. There's no way.
She ended up giving me a rimmy when we got back to hers. Anyways, 3 years after, and now we're married and she still doesn't know.
That is such a lie. That is such a lie.
He would have had to have like at least rinsed it a little bit.
Like he must have given it a bit of sanitization.
How much would she?
Because she's like maybe she did it and was like, oh, this tastes a bit like poop, but she's well, it's an asshole. Of course, it's going to taste.
Well, that's what you had.
But also too, how would you lick a bloke's asshole after you just at the gym with him? Like you just at the gym.
She's just rationalizing this while she's eating his ass. She's like, this tastes a bit off, but it is an asshole.
It's an asshole, so it's not that strange for it to taste like shit.
But
I don't want to insult the guy's wife, but like,
she must love him. I reckon she just loved him from day one. For you to do that means you just nothing grosses you out.
Even the skid marks aside, like that's what they participated in after the gym. Like they just trained. The arsehole would be so disgusting.
I would assume there had to have been some kind of showering in between this.
Yeah, well then it doesn't count. Then the
Remy information of the Remy doesn't count there because it's post shower.
You washed it.
Yeah.
You washed it. Doesn't it's like yeah.
But anyway, they're married now. God bless them.
And she doesn't know.
That must have been a pretty good set on a pendulum squat to shit yourself.
Oh, bro, it nearly happened to me the other day. I was doing, I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was doing a stiff leg, a Romanian deadlift and RDL, and I was like, whoa. I didn't.
It gets that at the bottom of the pressure in the gut.
Well, it was just like I don't know, I think I was a bit sick in the stomach the day before. I think my chicken wasn't cooked enough. My stomach was a bit off.
Hey, what day was that?
I can't remember. Last week.
Because through it, there's been, it's like something's gone around because I copped something it was just like a day.
Oh, bro.
I copped something for a day. A couple other boys at the gym copped something for a day. I went home with a session. I had a session with a client. I went home the other day. I was good the next day, but yeah, my guts were fucked.
I was scared I had colitis. I was like, oh. I was just freaking feeling the worst. Yeah, but I mean, that's reassuring to hear that it wasn't just me.
Yeah, I reckon, because the other day I was with a client, and the client, she went for a massive PB, and I did not feel good. It just came over me, I got a cold flush, my gut started not feeling really good, and I just go, I need to get out of this session. But this PB has been a long time coming. So I pushed on with it, and then after we finished that, I just said, hey, I've got to go. Not good.
Was that her first exercise?
Yeah, so we squatted, and then she went over to the
I love that you didn't give a fuck. I love that you just like, if that was me, I would be like, I can't leave this. I need to finish this hour until it's done. I love that you're just at a point in your life where you'd be like, I got to go. I'm done.
I don't ever want to feel uncomfortable like that. If it's in my own control, like it's different if I'm in a session and I'm feeling uncomfortable because I'm training hard. But if I feel like I need to shit myself,
yeah,
I'm like, I got to get the fuck out.
I suppose if you're properly sick,
I got to get out of here. We did the top set. I was very uncomfortable for that whole. That was really hard to get through.
Yeah,
did it. She got onto the leg press, and I said, and she was like, "Yeah, all good."
Man, it was actually so on this day that this happened, my stomach was fucked for the whole day, and I was gonna go visit stores that day. And I was like, oh, no, I'm a bit sick. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Because if I don't go, I'm just going to stay home and be just, I feel sick. So like, fuck it. I'll just go. I'll go visit stores anyway.
And you're on the road with
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I was only going around suburbs. I was only staying around the eastern suburbs. So I wasn't too far away from home.
Being out and about with like loose guts.
Yeah, man.
Scares the fuck out of
me.
me.
Well, I remember I walked into one store and I like the guy that works there, and I wanted to spend a bit of time chatting with him. And I got in there and I said, "Hey man, just got to ask. I don't need to go now, but where's the closest bathroom? Like I just needed to know where it was, just in case." Yeah,
good call.
Then I chatted for like 5 minutes. All right, bro, I'm just gonna wrap this up. See you later.
Sometimes it's psychological because you've had like a bad shit, and then you're like all day you feel like everything's gonna be like that, and you just want to be you don't want to be caught out and have to do that.
And the worst is like because you've wiped your ass so many times that day, your ass starts to like sting and just be raw. Like you're like, oh.
That.
And you know when you have a shower and wash it, it's going to sting.
Just the whole experience just.
It's not enjoyable. There's nothing better than just being healthy.
Yeah.
Being healthy is so nice.
You know what? The older you get, the more you analyze your shits. Sometimes you look at a shit, you're like, that's a good turd. That means that I'm healthy, my guts are fine.
Have you seen that? What's that scale called? The Bristol scale.
Where it shows like whether it's smooth.
Whether in a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or 4.
And then it goes all the way down to loose or like pellets.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than when your guts are fucked, everything's fucked.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to digestion is everything.
It really is.
We'll do one more of these. There's actually quite a few. People really wanted to send in their diabolical stories. I'll save a couple for the next time. One, look how long that one is.
Do that one.
That's a shocker.
Do that one.
I'll do, okay.
That's an essay.
Oh, there was one here that some guy got something with herpes, but I'll say that.
Don't you reckon, you know how people do that anonymous question thing? Anonymous question box? I know you posted that so it could be answered anonymously. Yeah. But you know when people post on their Instagram story, ask me a question, and it'll be someone like, oh, hey, my friend thinks you're cute. And they're like, okay, really? Cool. And it's like, bro, just so you know, not a real human didn't ask that.
It's a bot.
It's a robot. And they respond to it as if like someone's asking those questions.
I did a Google form for this because I thought it would be better because they could read a whole, this is a Google form. Because what they did was they can actually put a whole story there without being limited with, so I did a Barbell Bros Google form Q&A.
Anyone that went on and filled out that form was invested.
That's why this is.
Thank you guys. Yeah, that's an investment. To go on a Google document and fill it out just to listen to a podcast. That's really cool.
Okay, this one's fucked. I'm going to sit up for this one. Hi guys. So when I was young, maybe early high school, the age when lifting usually starts, someone told me that cum contained high doses of testosterone. So I used to jerk try and ingest as much as possible. I mistook the newbie gains as cum gains and thought it was legit. So I didn't stop until much older when I finally realized I was a fucking moron.
I don't know how to react to that. Like, I don't even know if I find that funny.
I like how he acknowledged that he was a fucking moron.
I don't even know if I find that funny. Wow. That's really concerning.
At what point in this heinous act, do you just look at yourself in the mirror and go, I've done what I've done.
Oh, yuck. That's disgusting. I don't even how do you eat a meal after that? Like,
how do you do anything after that?
So he's getting blood with his missus. No, don't, I want to swallow it. I want to swallow it.
Don't waste it.
Yeah. Apparently, you don't need it. I need it.
To help my testosterone.
I need it.
Don't swallow it.
Yeah. Save it for me. Gets the little cup out. Just into a cup. Yeah. His little has one of those little donation.
Yeah, the little yellow ones, the yellow top.
Yeah,
the urine sample cups.
The little sample ones. Wow. Yuck. Well, I hope your life has gone better since then, bud. That's wow. That's an interesting story.
There's another couple good ones. A lot of them about shit and a lot of them about crazy.
I knew they would all be disgusting.
Yeah.
A lot of they're all terrible. A lot of them about what?
Shit. There's a lot of shit.
What was the other thing you said?
A lot about shit and a lot about crazy people. One is actually pretty good about a crazy girlfriend, but I'm going to save that.
No, do it. I want to hear it. I reckon crazy girlfriend ones are so funny.
It's long.
There's this guy in the UFC. His name is Bryce Mitchell, and he's from Arkansas. And he's hyper religious now. And he was getting interviewed the other day, and they're like, "Oh, so when did you become religious?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't become religious. So I was about 25 years of age, brother." And like, when did it happen? He goes, "Well," he's like, "I was with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and she was punching out windows, kicking holes in the walls. And then she started ruining my tomato plants." And he's like, "And when she went outside and started ruining my tomato plants, that's when I knew demons are real." And that's when he started to.
That's the moment. You fucking my tomato plants?
Yeah, like demons are real.
You're nuts.
Demons are real. Crazy, eh? Yeah, read that.
All right. This is long.
Well, read it with some
all right.
enthusiasm.
All right.
I want to believe. I want to feel like I'm listening to J.K. Rowling reading Harry Potter books out.
Okay. I'll try my best. This one time I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. Let's call her C. Finally, after months of trying, and she wouldn't let me because she was a sociopath and kept manipulating her way back into my life. I ended up going on a date with another girl. Let's call her A.
Oh my God.
Who she knew through Instagram and lived in the area. So that's already a bad call that you've gone on a date with someone that
when I was with an ex-girlfriend, I had so I broke up with her, right? And like it was still sort of fresh. And I had another girl on Instagram that paid for flights to come to Sydney, like and booked them and sent. And I was like, oh, because I remember speaking to her one time, and she's like, oh, I should come to Sydney sometime. I'm like, yeah, come to Sydney sometime. And I was sort of messaging her to make myself feel good about myself and get a bit of self-esteem after a breakup. I didn't actually want her to come to Sydney.
But she did.
And then she booked flights and sent them to me. And I was like, oh, started freaking out. And I started feeling sick in the stomach because I only broken up with the other girl like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
You're going to go from just like that.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to commit to just the level of debauchery that I just knew this individual would have brought into my life. And like her flights were like $400 or something. I was like, don't care. I ended up transferring the money so she didn't come.
I think that's a good call because you would not have been in the right headspace to do what that person was willing to do.
And also too, like I knew it was gonna be one of those girls. Like it's one that you wouldn't be proud of.
Yeah.
People knowing, and you know that they would come and be like, oh, we're just at the gym, me and Mike are just at the gym posting. Yeah. Oh fuck,
no,
people are seeing. Get your fucking hands off your phone.
You can't.
Don't post this shit. Sorry, I interrupted the story.
No. So we're at the point where you've started dating. We call her A. So she knew through Instagram and lived in the area. She obviously stalked my followings from a fake account, saw that I was following this girl and kept tabs on me. The night I set up a date with the girl, C rocked up to the house. So the ex-girlfriend rocked to the house a few hours earlier out of the blue without any notice and tried to weave her way back into my life again. She asked what I was doing tonight and said, I'm going out with the boys. Ended up getting to leave my place and I went out. So he obviously went out with that girl. A few hours later, I was getting calls left, right, and center from blocked numbers when I was in the car with the girl driving to Bay Vista in Brighton, great desserts place. I was so on edge. The music on my phone kept cutting out of the car because all the calls jumped to the radio. Ended up getting to Bay Vista, and one of my mates calls and said, "C's blowing my phone up, threatening to kill you if you don't answer your phone." I told him to just ignore it, and I was on a date. Didn't tell him where I was. 15 minutes into the date, I hear from the right of me, "What the fuck are you doing with my boyfriend?" And then started blowing up in front of the whole Bay Vista, causing an absolute scene, louder the music that was blaring in there. I told her to go to the car, gave her the keys, tried to keep C away, and she didn't know where I was parked. Finally ended up sprinting away to my car. She followed me after, stalked me on the way home. Man, this is crazy. This is like a full tale. This chick's crazy.
Keep going. I'm
trying to see if this ends in like death.
I'm invested to know what happens.
So he's gotten away from her. Had to pull a fast and furious move to lose her.
She's driving in the car.
Yeah. Ended up dropping the girl back off home and never spoke to her again after that. C still weaved her way into my life months later, stalking me in front of my street, late night parking. Finally ended up free from her wrath after months of ignoring blocked calls.
Wow. Well, this crazy bitches.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. There are people out there like this, but you know what? Not defending her, but girls, it's like they lose, something snaps when they see you.
They become primal.
They just
their instincts kick in. And also too, there's no point doing anything wrong and trying to hide it because they become private investigators. They will find out. There is no point trying to like cover anything up. If you're going to do it, just do it out in the open because if you try and cover it up, they will know.
You cannot outrun a girl when it comes to social media. They will find you.
Yeah.
They will look. I've seen it down to the detail where someone will put a photo up and they will count the amount of glasses in the photo and how much water is in each glass. And they'll say, there's a third party there and there's lipstick on that glass. And they'll zoom right in like there's lipstick on that glass.
They know.
And it's like they'll see the reflection through the spoon of someone's earring or hair.
One of the funniest things, well, someone I know, one of my mates, he was seeing a chick and he started seeing another girl at the same time. And like he would come with alibis because he knew that he was going to catch up with the new girl while he was still under the umbrella of the old one. And like he would do shit like he would go somewhere and he would get his mates to take photos with him and then upload them as if they were like
live.
doing yes. Live. So when his girlfriend asked where they are, oh, I'm just here. Me and Joel just uploaded this photo. Can't you see where we are? Like fully
different haircut to a different time.
Oh, bro, to fully set it up as if it was real.
That's a full-time job.
Oh, it's
That's
too stressful.
It's
too stressful. It's too stressful.
So
you can't risk having your phone synced up to your car or an Apple Watch because there's just too many loose ends.
How many
There's too many loose ends.
How many times do you reckon Bluetooth has fucked someone up?
Oh, there's too many loose ends. It's like you'd be driving along in the car, a message pops up. It's funny. Why is she messaging you? And you just go,
On the run, you got to come up with an excuse.
like, oh, maybe just fucking, I don't know. Wrong number. I don't know. Yeah.
That's literally, I reckon that's been the death of, like, think about this.
That's so stressful, man.
Think about what people did in like the 70s and 80s. I reckon they could just do whatever they want. No one could catch them because how could you catch someone?
There was no social media. There was barely any security cameras.
How could you?
All that shit was a luxury.
You could literally just go out and just disappear for a night.
You could rob a bank so easy back then.
You're done. Whereas now, you could be caught in the background of someone's photo, someone's tag. You could be caught anywhere. There is no escaping these days. And girls are crazy. The way they find, the way
They're
Google,
private investigators.
the way they Google things, how they Google.
Like, to be fair, they're crazy, but we make them crazy.
Oh yeah, guys
Like,
are fucked.
Like, we have to take some onus at some
guys,
point.
when it comes to this type of stuff, guys are dumb.
Yeah.
They leave so many clues, so many trails.
I got all that shit out of my system.
I'm done.
I just don't have the fucks anymore. I just don't care.
I think
when I say I don't care, I just mean like I'm happy for one, but two, I just don't want all that shit that comes with it. The drama is just so unnecessary.
I think a lot of people that do that, they're not looking for like better options. I feel like they're chasing that adrenaline.
Yeah.
I feel like they can never settle.
That.
They just want the adrenaline. They could have a great partner, a great girlfriend, great wife, whatever it is, but they just want, like, is there something? I want that adrenaline. They just want that feeling of.
It's not a good feeling.
It's a shit feeling. It's like a junky feeling.
All right, I got a couple of questions.
Yeah, go.
Okay. I'll just start at the top, I guess. Would you rather be a 50-kilo gimp but strong as fuck, or Mr. Olympia but weak as a bikini girl? So let's just say, would you rather look small but be really strong, or look really strong but be really weak?
So look really strong and be weak.
Yep. So be like Samson, but your max deadlift is 140 for reps. Or look like,
you'd have
I don't know, an Indian 7-Eleven worker, but you can deadlift 340 for 5 reps.
Personally, I feel like I love strength training, but not at the expense of looking shit. Strength training to me, it accompanies looking a certain way.
But you know what it makes me think of? It just makes me think that, like, there is no scenario where being strong is a disadvantage. There is never a scenario in life where it's a disadvantage to be strong. A woman that goes to the gym and is strength trained is going to be able to give birth a hell of a lot easier than an untrained pregnant
So you're
woman.
saying in the real world, looking like shit but being strong is way more efficient. It's way more.
It has application.
Yeah.
Looking a certain way does nothing. Like, depending on how you look at it, right? Yeah, looking a certain way, you can monetize that on Instagram.
What phase of your life are you in? How old are you at this point? Because if
Your current age.
If you're a 40-year-old dude, dad strength and just being a strong guy is more relevant than looking.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Looking mad is amazing. But being strong is good too.
I think in this scenario, I'd rather look like Samson and be weak.
I know. I would choose that all day. Fuck it.
But you actually made a good point. Being strong is very applicable to the real world.
Yeah, let's just forget about that question now. Like, there is not a scenario where it's a disadvantage to be strong.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. And
We'll just seriously, honestly, try and use your illustrious brain power to concoct a scenario where it would be disadvantageous
None.
to be strong.
Every single professional sport in this world to this day.
But even just day to day, like,
I'm saying, like,
you're so strong. Oh no, you broke a glass when you picked it up because you're so strong. That's not going to happen.
Being strong is the best thing, and being strong is how I literally rehab clients out of pain. Like, you have to be strong.
Yeah, weak things break.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to be strong. I
love that quote.
I do believe, yeah. So I look like Samson. I don't want to look like a 7-Eleven worker.
Imagine how cool it'd be to look like Samson and, I don't know, not have to train that hard. Like, I don't know, you'd want to train hard, but like,
imagine you just didn't have
imagine if you were just black and that was just your genetics. You just looked like that.
No matter what you did, your baseline was Samson.
Yeah.
Like, your worst day is just Samson.
You just wake up and look like that. Severe flu sickness. What are your protocols regarding to training food peds? Don't train when you're sick.
Got to take time off.
Rest.
Don't go in the just to stay away from trainings. That's just not good, especially if you've got.
It's going to keep you central. It's going to keep affecting your CNS. It's not going to allow you to recover. Plus, you're going to make everyone else sick, and it's just gross. Drink lots of fluid. PEDs stays the same. Diet stays the same as best you can, and up the vitamin C. Take some zinc, and that's it.
Anytime I get sick and I'm cooked, all I do is I try and at least get some sun while I'm sick. I'll just try and go for a small walk or just sit out in the sun, just get some vitamin D.
Up the vitamin C, up the vitamin D, zinc and echinacea, and just go heavy on that for a couple of days.
And sleep. You can't beat sleeping. I just sleep and watch 80s, 90s movies.
Yeah, use this as an excuse to get the fuck away from everyone for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Will we ever see Mike or Paul mog some powerlifters?
Saying that for us to compete as powerlifters.
Yeah.
Would never rule it out. I mean, I love coaching powerlifting. It's one of my passions. I actually love coaching powerlifting. I personally feel like if at one point you ever wanted to apply yourself to a powerlifting comp, you could be.
I'd love to at one point. It's just hard to say, oh, I'm going to do it right now.
You can't balance the two.
No, it's for me at this point, it's just one of those things that I'd love to do it one day if everything lines up and I've got a grace period that allows for it.
I just don't think people understand the extent of what it takes to get certain numbers certain numbers after, like, let's just say you're building up to a 400 kg squat. Like, that's what I would expect someone of your level to eventually.
But also, if I'm going to do it, I want to go in there and, like, I don't expect to beat the veterans or the top guys that have been doing it for a long time, but you at least want those guys that are the best of the best to look at you and go, he did things the right way.
He did well, yeah.
He did things the right way. That was good. That was strong. That was strong as fuck, and he went about this the right way. He didn't come in and put a fucking gay pink bandana on and scream and carry on look like a fuckwit and slam weight around. You know what I mean? Did things properly.
With respect, yeah. To the level it takes to do that and how rigid your life has to be around training.
And the amount of time you have to allow for a session.
Yeah, it is.
The biggest thing training for not that I've got ready for a meet, but I've approached training in that way before. And just the amount of time that you have to allow for a session is monumental.
It's scary.
A squat session is going to take 2 to 3 hours to do it properly.
Just a squat, without even doing anything else. But yeah, there's a lot of risk, but the feeling or the reward when something, like when you lift it, it's pretty good.
It's awesome.
It's a good feeling.
Again, going back to being strong, when is it bad? Never. You just feel like you could run through a brick wall at that point. You lay in bed that night completely fucked, decimated, but you're happy.
Yeah, because you're strong.
You're like, oh, I did it. When cardio is in the routine, 120 to 130 beats per minute, is it suboptimal to do it straight after a leg session?
It depends. It depends what the goal is. It depends where you're at. I feel like
for me to get to 120, 130 BPM, I have to have the treadmill on like an incline of 4 and at a speed of 6. I can barely keep up with it on a fucking normal day. I'm not going to be able to do that after a leg session.
No.
Like, could I, if I really wanted to? Yeah, but is it going to be harder for me? Yes. I would rather not do it after that time. But also, if that was the only time that I had in my day that I could allocate towards doing it, I would do it and make it work.
Yeah, you'd have to make it work. I wouldn't, to get your heart rate that much, you've already done it. If you train legs hard enough, I guarantee whatever cardio you're doing afterwards, you've done enough during that leg session.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
You've probably done enough in that leg session. The venom or the intensity you're going to put into that cardio session, I would have that same approach. How can I get this in my leg session? And then you won't need to
just don't rest as much. Yeah, that's a good point because training legs, I've never checked. I'd like to check what my heart rate gets up to I reckon I'll fucking get up there. In the mornings at the moment, I'm about 80, just rested.
Yep.
But then I get up to, and it takes me a bit of effort to get it to like 120, 130. Like I'm pushing on the treadmill, but after a squat or something like that, I can imagine it would be
I reckon my heart rate, not during the squat, but right before my squat, that's, I get this like adrenaline dump and I just feel, it's amazing because my last one when I squat always feels a little bit hard, but my top set, when I walk that weight out, it feels like there's nothing on my back.
Yeah.
I have this huge surge of adrenaline and my heart rate spikes. And when I walk it out, I kind of get jelly legs. Like I kind of feel like I'm in a bit of a dream.
That's the feeling that you want.
And then I just stand up, I go, it's over.
Yeah. All right. Before we go, what's before we go? So we've got Dialed Shred has been released in a sour watermelon flavor. I really like this product because it's 5 trademarked ingredients. For people that don't know, trademarked ingredients are ingredients that have clinically supported health benefits. And a lot of the benefit that you'll get from this product in particular in regards to actually burning fat is oxidating, mobilizing body fat. It helps improve insulin sensitivity and producing more natural ketones. And it feels excellent. And then Carnage, our highest in pre, 525 megs of caffeine, 840 milligrams of stimulants total, is out now in a pineapple flavor, and it tastes delicious. So that's not a daily driver for everyone. For me personally, I probably use that like as a tail end of prep when I really need it. 525 is a fuckload of caffeine, but I know you absolute stim fiends out there are all about that. So it is also now available in pineapple. And anyone that buys a tub of Dialed Carnage from any elite supplement store for the month of April will get a free 150 gram creatine monohydrate. I think that's online with them as well. So if you're not sure, go on the website, check. If it's not online, go in store and do it.
That was very eloquently said.
Bro, the amount of phone calls I've had to make this week, because we did a national deal with every elite supplement store. There's like 100 and something of them. So all of them stock all of our products. And because we kicked off that deal with them, like that head office will let each store know individually, but from us as business owners, it's just good to get in touch with the manager, have a chat with them, let them know, make sure they're across all their products. They know how to sell them. They've tried them themselves. They've got an experience. So this week has been a lot of phone calls and saying shit like that over the phone a lot of times.
Oh, that was very well said.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Is that are we done?
Yeah.
6-7 minutes?